Well, it has been a minute. The last full-length video I posted was almost 6 weeks ago, but very few of you would know that because almost none of you watched it. We'll come back to that. While I have taken a small break from producing videos nearly every year since I started this channel, this one was entirely unintentional, and it was almost permanent. It started with the simple fact that I have been traveling a lot over the past month and a half. For Holy Week, for instance, the brothers I live with went down to Jamaica for 8 days to help out at the FRIAR's mission. They have 5 or so churches and only 2 full-time priests, so we volunteered to help. We got back to our house on Tuesday of Easter, did our laundry, repacked, and we're out again on Thursday of that same week for 2 weeks in the United Kingdom. I was invited to be a keynote speaker at 2 conferences, and so we decided to leverage the opportunity for a trip for all 3 of us. We started in Scotland and worked our way down to London, giving talks at parishes and schools along the way. I had originally thought about filming videos at some of these places, even brought my camera to do so, but it just never happened. Holy Week, constantly on the move in foreign countries, visiting friars. We were busy, and I was exhausted. Which didn't get any easier once we got back, because the very next day, we hosted a young adult event for about 30 people, followed the very next morning with a co-sponsored event for about 100 people, in which Father Tio cooked for everyone, and I organized the setup and entertainment. At this point, it was the last week of school for most colleges, which meant there was a push to be on as many campuses as we could, going to end-of-the-year parties, and connecting with people for the last time until fall. Which is not to say that our ministry is slowing down, only that our college ministry is slowing down. In reality, we're ramping things up right now, starting a new weekly dinner and discussion group next week, hosting more regular monthly events in different cities, and finally starting to see our morning men's group grow. And who would have thought that starting a new ministry from scratch would take up so much time? On top of all of that, I'm working on a new book with a quick turnaround and a lot of complicated factors. I can't share all the details just yet, but it is a collaborative effort where I'm editing and compiling the reflection of 28 different people, which is a lot of coordination, reminders, redos, and time taken up that could be spent making videos. That is, if I even had the motivation right now. You see, being busy is one thing. Really, I've always been busy. My last assignment, I was the chaplain of a high school and an elementary school, the campus minister of a college group, and the on and off pastor of a parish. Somehow in that time, I still managed to produce between 1 and 3 videos a week. Right now, I'm busy with a lot going on, sure, but I've also found myself sitting in front of the TV a bit more, wasting my time on TikTok, staring at my computer with things I could be writing, and deciding that I just didn't have it in me right now. To be honest, I just don't have that desire to grind it out like I did in years past. To make it all work, I used to stay up late after long days just plowing through. I used to spend a good amount of my time alone, hiding away in my office or studio, churning out content. And maybe when things were really successful and I had nothing else going on fraternally, that was fine. But I now live in an active fraternity that likes doing things together. I'm starting to struggle with the results I'm seeing from the videos. I know that it's not all about numbers, but it is partially about numbers. When you dedicate hours and hours to something and seemingly no one watches it, that's tough. It weighs on you. Part of me wonders if this is a sign to double my efforts on making shorter videos for Instagram and TikTok, if that's where I'm going to reach the most people. Part of me wonders if I've done what is mine to do and it's time to focus on other things. Maybe it's just that I'm finding more life in the work that I do in the real world. Maybe there's something to not working every moment of every day, and it's okay to watch TV with the brothers at night rather than grinding away at a new video. Maybe I've been stung one too many times from the internet and find it nice to not always be defending my faith and priesthood from apologists and trolls alike. Maybe I just have to finally admit that I've become disillusioned by the divisiveness of discourse on the internet, the growing dangers that social media poses to mental health, and the ever-present and destructive nature of AI, and really worry about what I'm contributing to. So, yeah. On the one hand, I've got a lot on my plate right now, and on the other hand, I'm not even sure if I'm hungry. So where does this leave us? Is this a goodbye? Is this me logging on one last time to say that it's been a great run, but I just can't do it anymore? Not exactly. I plan to get back to making videos very soon. My real-world life is about to change a bit with a major reorientation, and I'm hoping that will allow me to dedicate more time to doing this. In fact, I've already filmed another Catholicism in Focus video that should be very interesting and out shortly, and I'm excited about something I've wanted to deep dive into for a long time and will get to as soon as I can carve some time out for it. I continue to post on Instagram multiple times a week, sharing about our life and ministry as friars, and that has never taken a break, so you should check that out. And I've routinely posted shorter videos there in the past 6 weeks, even if I didn't have time for full-length video here, so stuff is still going on. But it still may take a bit for things to get back to a routine here, and I suspect that it won't look like it did before when I was posting multiple videos a week. I suspect those days are gone, but maybe that's for the better. When I started doing this 11 years ago, there weren't that many Catholic creators, and it was difficult to find solid theological resources that were easy to consume. That's just not the case now. And so I think that it might be time to evolve a bit, to recalibrate, to take a look around and ask, what does the world need now that it didn't 11 years ago? It might be the chance I need to dream up something new. Until then, thank you for your support along the way. God bless, and I'll see you soon.